What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a good day today. Mine pretty good. Appreciate everybody that subscribe to the channel. Everybody that want to get their CDL, this is how I got my CDL. I got my CDL about 10 years ago. And these are some things that you need to know before going to go get your CDL, because these are things that I really didn't know too much about. So the first CDL school I went to, first of all, you need to find out what CDL school you are going to first and research the program, because you can't get yourself into a bad school that don't teach you well or have you in a bad motel. Read the comments and do your research first before you even go to one of these schools. If you got a local school where you stay in your city, your town, your state, that's even better, because you don't have to go catch a Greyhound bus, fly, go away from home to even go get your CDL. So please do your research. Look up the school, look up the reviews, see what other people are talking about this school. And so my first school I went to was Stephen Transport in Dallas, Texas. I went to that CDL school. There were plenty more that I looked up. I looked up Roadmaster. I don't know if Swift had a school back then or not, but I looked up a few of them, and I kind of, CR England had a school too. I didn't like the reviews on that one. They may have got their stuff together a little bit more better now from 10 years ago. So I was looking at the reviews, and I decided to go to Stevens Transport. So Stevens Transport provided a room for me, and they provided me an allowance for food and all those different type of things. So I was more comfortable with that. Plus, I wasn't no more than probably 2 hours away from home. So if I need to drive home for emergency, I wasn't too far out. I wouldn't need to catch a bus or a plane to even get to the house. You know, it won't be so far to get to me. So please make sure that you make it good for that. If you're the type of person to have a family or anything, research all that first. So I went to Stephen Transport, and it was a 3-week class that I had to take. 3-week class I had to take. So I get to the motel room, get booked in, and everything goes the way it do. So this is another thing you need to make sure you do before you even go to a CDL school. You need to make sure, first of all, make sure if you got a family, make sure you got stuff straightened out with your family first. Don't just jump and go. Don't just jump and go. And I had somebody in my family that had an 18-wheeler that was teaching me a few things before I even went. So that will help also. So if you got somebody in your family, friends, or somebody in your circle that has access to a truck that you can drive and that you can kind of get practice on, like on the country road, so you won't get so nervous in class and have to focus all this stuff at once. So before you even go to a school, some people might do this and some people might not do this, but some people might do this. But before I even went to the school, I made sure I had my permit before I even went, which gave me more time in the truck. I didn't have to be in class trying to squeeze everything all in one, trying to figure out my general knowledge, air brakes, and that was a little bit of weight up off of me before I even went to school to try to get my CDL. So if you can, get your permit before you go. And your permit is the testing that you will need to get that is required before you even go to even get your CDL, to even get in the truck and even drive it. So if you can do that, do it. Take your test, do all that. And make sure you do that. And because you're going to have to focus while you up in that school. Some school give you 3 weeks, some school probably may give you a month or 2. It depends on where you go. But the school I went to gave me 3 weeks. And that's a lot to learn within 3 weeks. Just think about it. You got to try to do your general knowledge and all this stuff. You got to try to cram in your mind within 3 weeks. Plus try to pass the test, failing the test and going back and taking the test and try to learn how to switch gears. See, they got a lot of automatic trucks now. It's not as hard that's driving the trucks now. Ain't nobody really shifting gears like that no more. But I advise you to go to a school that's going to teach you with automatic and standard shift, because you won't have to worry about that restriction on your license. So that's important also. So make sure you have all that together before you go to a school. Make sure you got your bills paid, and like I said, make sure you're not a broke as a joke type person before you even go to school, because you're going to be dependent on that to try to get your license. And a lot of people quit their job to go get their license, and some people don't even get them, and they wind up with nothing at the end of the day. That's why I say get your testing out the way first before you even go to a CDL school. Get all that out the way, because they got students coming in and out fast, real fast. They got students just coming in and out of there fast, and they trying to get you in to get other students, trying to get you in and get you out just as fast. They trying to get somebody else in and out. So it's important to do that before you even go to a school. It's important. And if, like I say, if you can make sure you can get the automatic restriction off your license, not off your license, but make sure you go to a school that you can get trained in automatics and standard shift. It'll help you out a whole lot. So, for those, I know the trucking industry now is up and down right now, and they're always needing drivers. Don't let that stuff scare you, thinking that you're not going to get a job. Plenty of companies out there are hiring. So you got Swift, you got CR England, you got Steven Transport, you got Roadmaster, and the company I went to was called SRT back then, Southern Refrigeration Company. They're not in existence anymore, so I can't tell you about that company. So please do your research and make sure that you have everything together before you go. Make sure you have it together. Make sure you have your mind together, for one, because it'll be a big waste of time for you to go down to your school that you pick of choice and you don't even get your CDL. Now you got to start from square one. And they give you a certain time after you fail it. They could have changed that law by now, but they give you a certain time after you have failed it before you can even come back and redo all that over again. So you're rolling the dice when you go to the CDL school of your choice. And it's even better if you got somebody in your family, like I said, that got a truck, and you can get your CDL through them. Don't know if that's even a current thing that you can still do. But CDL, you can make good money. When you get out of school, you got flatbed, you got doubles and triples, you got refrigeration, you got dry van, you got oversized load. There's so many different divisions you can pick in the trucking. You can make good, decent money for you and your family, or for yourself. Don't let nobody tell you that there's no money in it. There's plenty of money in it. It's all about your experience. Once you get to CDL school and you get your license, you got to stay. Some companies want you to stay in there for a year before some places will hire you. Now, I work in food service. Some food service companies require a year, and some of them don't. But you're going to have to work. You're going to have to be away from your family. You have to be away from your friends. You got to give all that stuff up coming into CDL. Now, if you want to smoke weed and all this other stuff and drink and drive, and you got a problem with all that, CDL is not for you. You might need to try to find you something else you need to do. If you want to continue to do that and drive trucks, leave it alone, because people's lives are in jeopardy out while you out playing, smoking weed and drinking, and want to drink and drive and put other people's lives in jeopardy because of your carelessness. So think about that. Before you get out here in these trucks and want to do this profession, make sure you got everything together in your life, because this is not a game. Make sure you have everything together. before going to school and even after you graduate from whatever program you go to. Hope this information was helpful for you. Have a good day.